Hello everyone, in this video I'll be showing you how to beat the boss Laxasia the Complete in Lies of P. So this is what I think to be the second hardest boss fight in the entire game. This is a very fast boss that you have to react quickly to. Like, I blocked that attack there, and you're going to have to get comfortable with blocking. There's a few times during this fight where blocking is going to be incredibly important. The lightning attack where it throws the lightning, you can deflect them all back to deal damage. So despite most of the bosses being more so of a dodge roll type boss, this one is someone you want to get really good at parrying. Parrying, I would say, is probably the best thing, like the most important thing to get good at in this game, but this one more so than ever. So use up as many items as you can to put extra fire damage or electric damage on Laxasia. I believe that electric damage is a little bit better in the first phase and then fire in the second, but I had fire there, and yeah, it does deal electric damage, so I think I just rolled with fire damage, to be honest here. But whenever you're fighting a boss like this, my best strategy is to go at the boss one or two times and only block, and then eventually start to add in more attacks. You don't have to have a serious attempt the first few times you try a boss. Sometimes it's best just to experiment and see the attacks and get comfortable with dodging them and the timing, because a lot of the enemies in this game have very different timing for when you should do the attacks. So with this one, I find it's pretty quick to the attacks. The second phase, however, is when Laxasia becomes really difficult, and you want to apply that fire damage as quickly as possible. And if you got any items, I recommend using them. I have some items to reduce that electric shock that she does. So see there, I'm reflecting all those electric bolts back at her to deal damage. That makes this fight a lot easier, because that attack is really annoying. It makes me reminded of the Ocarina of Time fight when you fight Ganondorf. So yeah, it's a very challenging fight, but with the second phase, if you have your specter alive, you're doing good. Try to keep the aggro off it as much as possible if you can, and try to get as much damage in as possible on Laxasia as well. When she does that attack, try to block it as best possible. You can see the electric shocks going high there, so I use the item to clear that off, because you don't want to lose out on your stamina from that, because that can make this fight impossible if you lose your stamina. So very important to be mindful of that. And you can sometimes get in some cheap attacks like that there when you have the specter, but once it starts to get down on its health there, I find that this boss just becomes more relentless with its attacks. So it has an incredible pool of health. It does electric damage, it does a lot of damage in general, and it's fast. This is a nightmare fight, but if you can use the correct strategies to beat this boss, it makes it a little bit easier. I blocked one of those attacks there, and you do have to get good with blocking because it makes this game so much easier. Now, they only threw one electric bolt that time, and you gotta watch out because there's two different attacks that she'll use. I blocked that one there, luckily, because that would have been very bad. But she'll also jump up and then start throwing lightning down. So two of those attacks are very tricky to tell which is coming, and it can mean life or death for your character. So just be anticipating an attack. I didn't really use any of the Legion arms during this fight. I found it to be a little bit difficult to get them in because she's just so fast. So with those tips, hopefully you'll be able to beat Laxasia the Complete. You might need to grind a little bit, but thank you so much for watching. If you found this video useful, please hit the subscribe button below, and I'll see you in the next video.